Thank you for joining us for another edition of Message Makers. I'm Jim Nichols. Today we're talking with Matthew Staub, who's a social media strategist over at H&R Block. He's been in this role now for about 2 years and is joining me via Skype from their Kansas City office. Matthew, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So you have an interesting position doing social media in a company that isn't, or an area that doesn't traditionally scream social media. So I'm curious, what kind of impact has social media had for H&R Block?
Well, the big thing social media has done for us is it's allowed us to serve our clients in the way they want to be served. It's reaching people in a different way than we have before. It's maybe serving a customer that would have never called a call center, but would have tweeted about their experience and letting us provide, get that feedback from them and resolve that for them and potentially save them from a negative experience. Or even giving our clients the opportunity to share a kudo if they had a good experience as well.
So do you find that you tend to use social media more in the customer relationship space as a reactionary tool, or is it a proactive tool as well?
We do everything. We do a lot of listening for an online reputation management, just to see what our clients and other people in the industry are saying about us. We do a lot of customer reaction, response, and resolution when we hear about problems that people are having. And then we share our expertise. That's one way we really like to differentiate ourselves is we have an army of tax professionals out there in the field, and we like to share that expertise we have and give people pieces of content that they can find value from and they can share with their network.
What kind of services do you provide as far as utilizing those tax professionals to benefit your clients?
The HR Block is really about sharing that sort of tax news, tax information, what you need to know, how different life events will impact your tax situation, things like that. And then Answers is really about resolving those core issues. That's the account we're actually reaching out and engaging the clients with. So we're not polluting one channel with the other. People are coming to us with a lot of need for a lot of information that they want to share, tax tips and things like that. Another key part of our strategy is actually plain old blogs. It's a great channel for us to get more personal and dig more into some of the details of these unique tax situations and give some more analysis and value.
So it's interesting, with all those different channels, what do you think has been the one that's been the most successful?
I think they're definitely all interdependent. We do a lot of cross-promotion of the channels, and we find that each one has a different kind of feel. And we definitely have focused on just being the channels where our clients want us to be. So, for instance, Facebook has a really more of an advocate feel and a conversation. So a lot of the people that really love the brand or like talking about taxes, there are people out there that do. Where the Twitter's the quick hit. If they're sitting in an office and they're dissatisfied, they'll tweet, and that's more of that quick interactive. So it's just a different feel, and we find that each channel has a different role, and we can each use them, as a holistic strategy around how to work with our clients.
I'm curious, do you have any insights that you can share about the role of those blogs? Is that something that's more helpful in a potential customer's research phase versus a reactionary phase to their experience at an H&R Block office?
Yeah, I think the blog is a key. It does a few things for us. It's a key part of how we can, like I said, get that more in-depth content out there. It serves us really well from a search perspective. So when customers are looking for specific answers to their tax questions, they can search for, what's the deal with this particular tax credit, and they can find some great content from us around that issue. It also lets us, when we know there's issues or we know there's challenges that we can see from our monitoring when clients are having a lot of questions about a certain thing, a certain product that we may have, and we can proactively message them in a blog, speak to that messaging in our other social channels, like, hey, check out this information about the problem you're having, or this really confusing tax credit that's tripping up a lot of people right now.
Where does a company like H&R Block start on this kind of path? That seems to be the biggest hurdle for lots of companies.
We stepped back and we started with what I think every company should start with, is just really listen. Where are your customers? What are they saying about your brand? Realize, you really don't own your brand anymore. Your customers do, and what they're saying about it, and you can either be part of that conversation or not. So that's once you listen, you can understand where you can start to insert yourself in that conversation and be a resource.
So would it be fair to say that an understanding of your company's digital environment, that would be encompassing the audience, where they're going, what they're saying, is probably the most important step in order to get started with having any kind of impact on business results through social media?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to say it. I mean, the key is you don't necessarily know what's going to happen when you go out there. And the best indication, the best canary in your coal mine is to just see what's already happening, because there will be conversation, good and bad, about every brand out there. And so you're figuring out what the temperature of the water you're about to jump into is, and I think that's critical. So you're prepared as well as you can be.
Okay, Matthew Staub from H&R Block, thank you so much for joining us today. I encourage everyone to check out what H&R Block is doing online. We'll put down the Twitter links down at the bottom of the screen here, and it really is an example of an established company utilizing these social channels in different ways in order to have an impact on its business. So it's a great example. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today.